Good evening, fellow Entropians. Godly here. How's everyone doing tonight? Today, depending on when you're looking at it. Another video here. Today we're going to be doing it from Camp Icarus again. Just a little more information regarding the last video I did. Some of the reasons why I don't like this as the starting place for people. And some of the benefits to over here. So, trying to be all-inclusive. I'm not always negative about things. There are certainly some positives over here. There's a lot of people to socialize with over here. Plus, this is a gorgeous view. You cannot deny this view. This game, gotta give it to them. Mind Arc, awesome with us. Came up with some great scenery, some above average scenery for an online game that's been going on for damn near 17 years. This is pretty spectacular, and it's always improving. So for today, last video I was actually using some Mind Essence as a weapon of choice. Gonna be using the same thing today. However, I throw on some armor, just because some of the mobs I'm going to be introducing in this video do require, a little bit more, aggressive, can cause a little bit more damage. Now I am using the Pixie Adjusted, an armor that is actually free to get. Yes, I said free, just for completing the mentorship program. And hey, who doesn't love free? I know there's still a lot of players, even playing for years, that still love using this armor. It's very useful. I still use it to this day, obviously. So you see I'm traveling a little bit northeast from the original Camp Icarus area, where the teleporter is. And my last video I was talking about how the Cortigers, those ugly mobs, they group up, pretty dramatically. So it can become very difficult to be able to attack them. And they're all punies over here. They're all punies. You won't find anything larger than that with this Cortigers. But considering the density of it, one of the main reasons why I suggest not starting here, because it can be challenging to separate from the herd, so to speak. And you can kind of get overwhelmed very quickly, especially when you're first starting out, because they are very aggressive to new players. They know the defensive skills, so they become very, very aggressive. Now, other reason why I don't, particularly care for this is because there's a lot of players over there. And you can see down here on my map, there's several other people already attacking over here. So this is a very popular area. Doesn't make it great for starting. So once you're a little more established, yeah, you can hang out with these guys. Now again, they're punies, so either be able to kill them very quickly, or you will get overwhelmed. Or have high defensive skills, so you can, handle, deflect, avoid any of their attacks. Now once these get a little too easy, once you can handle the combination of the volume and just being able to kill them quick enough, head northeast, come over to the Barker Leads, which we do have these also over at Port Atlantis. Now over at Port Atlantis, you will deal with punies and juveniles as well. Here, you got punies, juveniles as well. Just you see how dense they are. They're on top of each other. So if you come here on day 1, day 2, you are just going to get banged up by these guys. You're not going to have any chance. And it's going to become very uninteresting for a new player. It's just going to suck getting killed and killed and killed. and having to stop, heal, kill, stop, heal, kill. There's no fun in that. Actually, I forgot to do something here to make my life a little easier. Loot pills. Now, when I talk about loot pills, it's an auto loot pill. You can buy these from the TTs. You just need to have a paramedic skill, which is essentially a healing skill, a level 5. It is well worth taking the time to do that. Even if you don't take the time to buy the skill implants for something like that, because especially when you're dealing with this much, you can sit here and kill them all day, but if you're going to be spending just the same amount of time clicking to collect all the loot, it sucks. It's distracting. It takes away from the fun parts of the game, killing, conquering, looting. If you have to sit there and click on every single loot, it's not nearly as fun, in my opinion. That's the case. So that's one of the only times I ever suggest, buying implants. Well, for the game at least, it's one of the only times I suggest implants. Because it does make it, skilling health, skilling the healing, skilling for the paramedic skill is very time consuming. And once you get into a healing profession, where instead of you're out hunting, you're out following a hunter and healing him, letting him kill it, let the hunter spend the PEDs, killing the mobs, and you just healing him, potentially getting a share of the loot. That's one of the really only rapid ways of raising paramedic, other than doing it naturally where, hey, you get hit several times, you lose some health, you stop, you heal. It'll take a lot of time to do it by yourself. That's what I'm trying to get at. Now, with these mobs, like I said, they're already at Port Atlantis, so you've already experienced them. So you should already be aware of what to expect when fighting these. The big difference with this area is, again, is density. We've taken on a lot of them rapid fire. Now, occasionally these guys are just avoiding me. Avoidance and their aggro, aggressiveness. Aggro is just short for aggressiveness. Is based on your defensive skills. So if you've got high defensive skills, high evade, high combat reflexes, they're going to avoid you a little bit more. Because, it's, they respect you at that point kind of thing. Players respect players kind of thing. I think there's an expression that actually goes along with that. They realize that you're not a threat to them. Because you're not, targeting them, essentially. So as you level up, they will stop being aggressive. But when you're first starting out, they're gonna try to maul you. You see how many are just walking across the screen right in front of me as I'm trying to record this. If you're a brand new player, they're not gonna be walking past you, they're gonna be running at you. So it can become very, very challenging to attack these creatures. Even with some of the tips I have mentioned, where you attack and you back up as you're attacking them. You see, I'm using Mind Essence. It's the same as using laser pistols, laser rifles. It's similar tactics. I'm killing them quickly enough, and with the armor on, I'm not really taking much damage, so that's why I'm not focusing on backing up. But if you want to do that from day one, there's so many of them, it will be very difficult to try to pull from the pack, to, thin the herd, tactfully. Because you pull one, you might just get close enough where you're going to aggressive, aggro, 4 or 5 of them at the same time. And that will suck. That's going to hurt you. Once you get that starter pack, that, again, I've recommended multiple times, starting to sound like a broken record with it. It's very useful. For a starting hunter, it is very useful. It's incredibly recommended, because if you look at the web shop, that's, you know, the only profession they really endorse and will really support. You know, you have mining professions, you have crafting professions. There's not much that can be uniquely applied for those professions. I suppose they could probably make a unique, you know, excavator and finder for the mining profession. Not much I can really do for the crafting profession, but obviously this is a very strongly supported skill, and they're going to take the time to do us right. If they do us wrong and they do us dirty, you know, hey, they can have a lot of pissed off players. So I wasn't really keeping track of how many PEDs I was spending on this hunt. I just kind of want to show you the area, because these are mobs, like I said, you have seen before if you've been following the videos, following my suggestions. You know, starting at Port Atlantis, great idea. This is the step up. Although they start you here, it's not the right starting place. There's many games they can play out there. Like, they start you in one direction. A lot of RPGs, especially now that we've gotten into open world RPGs and MMOs, they start you in one place. Not always the best place to start out. It's not always the most prosperous. So keep that in mind. You're starting here on Calypso. Yeah, they will start you in this area. Yeah, you can kill these creatures early on, but you're very much likely to get your ass handed to you because you're not ready for this amount of creatures. And the game makes money off of not necessarily dying, but spending money on ammo to kill these creatures. If you get halfway through killing this and you die, by the time you get back to that creature, find that creature again, because there are so many of them, it's going to be healed. So all that ammo you wasted trying to heal, get over to it, and try to kill it again, that mob's going to be healed again. And, you know, Mind Arcs has made their money back. Or the fact, if you're wearing armor, try to overcompensate for that. Again, I'm wearing armor. I'm killing them quickly enough that it's not really an issue, but if you were to pick up like TT armor, trade terminal armor, that initial right off the boat kind of armor, you're going to be repairing that, selling it, you know, so frequently. That's where they make their money. That's why they try to put you in a position like this. Fantastic adage throughout my life, you know, knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you're able to succeed, to circumvent the norm, to prosper. I'm sure there's another common one, like ignorance is bliss. The less you know, yeah, it's blissful, but how much are you missing out on? How much are you losing out on? And something like this, where there's real money involved, potentially real money, because you'd be playing this without, you know, ever spending any money. If you're taking any of my suggestions, I advise against that. Again, it's doable. My tips still do work if you do not deposit. So don't turn off because I just said, you know, it's not suggested. But regardless, there's still time invested. Time is money. It's a fact of life. So, gotta play smarter, because this is a game that does not, this isn't a weekend playthrough game. You can go to the store, go to GameStop, Walmart, whatever the case may be, buy an Xbox game, buy a PlayStation game, potentially run through the entire game, beat the whole game in, you know, a long weekend. You know, I remember beating regular PlayStation games, regular N64 games, like, oh, a long night just pulling an all-nighter. This is one of those games that there's no necessarily beating it, because you're playing against other players, so there's, you know, essentially ranks. There's always something going on. There's something always evolving. It's never done. You know, it's the never-ending story, as it were. The game's been around, damn near 17 years. They're still updating graphics to it. They're still adding areas to the game, adding new mobs, adding new planets, adding new vehicles, weapons, so on and so forth. So much being added, I'm sure I am missing things, because it's continually growing. Which brings me to a big part of my philosophy on this game, is don't try to do everything all at once. Think of it long term, think of it as a time investment, personal investment. It's never going to happen all at once. If you play this game expecting to be, you know, a god, no pun intended, after a few days, you're playing the wrong game. Just stop now, put your money away, go play, you know, a GameCube game or whatever the hell is going on with it. Nintendo these days. Yes, I know I'm a few generations behind, but it wasn't. Nintendo Switch is the current one. Anyway, this is a game that you gotta be thinking long term with it. It's a long game. It's not something that's going to be won overnight. Not going to be the best overnight. You're not going to be the best after weeks, months. You could be very unique, very talented, very competitive after a few weeks, months, potentially. But again, it's not something to, you know, set all your hopes and dreams on being the best right away. Right now, I have no intentions on being the best on anything other than being informed and being able to share my information, my journey through the game. That's what I'm doing. You know, that's part of the reason why I started this channel. I want to be able to just share my knowledge that I've come across, my wisdom that I've learned, you know, while playing this, and to hopefully, you know, help others grow. You know, obviously, I would love to be able to make a, you know, profit on this. Be able to, you know, hell, I'd love to never go to work again. Just sit home and play video games. That'd be awesome. And it's a real cash economy. It's quite possible. It's not likely, but it's possible. This could be the situation. And even with that possibility, it's not something I'm expecting tomorrow. I'm not expecting to wake up tomorrow and, you know, alright, this is my resignation from work. Not at all. So I'm just trying to express how you have to be very patient with this. Realize this is not gonna happen right away. Now, in life, instant gratification is rarely the best, most satisfying. Can you imagine, you know, just in retrospect, watching TV, talking to people, you see things like, alright, people who have earned their money seem to be the most humble, the most respectful, that they understand that, you know, could be all gone in a moment kind of thing. Now, on the other side, you know, you have the people that were born into money, like, by the time they got their driver's license, they already had their 3 cars kind of thing. Like, they're the most ungrateful pieces of bleep that existed. So, you know, they didn't earn anything. That instant gratification just, it's non-existent. They expect it, you know. And a financial, example. All right, yeah, you have those people that, yeah, they can go out and spend $100 on dinner and never bat an eye. And you have the same people that go out and like, all right, you know what? I had a good week. I'm gonna supersize it. You have that kind of mentality, you know. You know what? I won an extra $2 on my scratch-off lottery tickets. Yeah, this is a good week. This is a fun week. That's kind of how this game is. You have to appreciate the fact that it's not something that's going to happen overnight. Success is not something that is just randomly achieved. And again, that's not the absolute rule. There are exceptions to every single rule. That's why that expression exists. Because, there are people who, they're just lucky. That they must be rubbing that rabbit's foot, got a horseshoe rammed up there, you know what. So they, luck just seems to happen to them. Good things happen to them. But that's not, again, that's not the common thing. If that's one of you guys, hell, awesome to you. Hey, let's be friends. Share some of that luck, man. Or gal. I'm not trying to be sexist. That was almost inappropriate there. Again, this is something that, please take your time with it. Understand that it's not happening immediately. And plan to spend some time playing this, developing it. Although initially you might not be seeing something financially. No financial gains right off the bat. You see, I'm burning through PEDs here, If I make a profit on this, I didn't know what I started with, but if I were to make a profit on it, awesome. If I didn't, I also know I'm gaining skills, which we got over here. Yeah, I'm gaining skills. Skills, translate into money in this game and in reality. In this game, you can turn them into skill implants. Sell them for PEDs. Awesome. Get to play a game and sell what you've learned, essentially, for it. In real life, hell, there's been plenty of times where I've taken a lower pay just to be able to have the opportunity to work with certain people, work in certain departments, to gain the knowledge. So once I have that knowledge, then, yeah, you know what? I can demand 50% more on my pay. Why? Because I am that much more qualified than the next person. That's one of the wonderful things about how life works. But at the same time, you have to sometimes, suck it up, deal with it. I've been doing the job of a few people, even lately, taking the position, I always act the position above me, for the sheer fact that it just sets me up and prepares me for when I get to that spot. I've really always been like that. You've always got to do the person's job above you. And that's not you trying to take their job, that's also setting them up, because, hell, if they've taught you, prepared you for doing that job, then when someone realizes you're ready to move up, that makes them look good too, because it means like, hey, maybe we should be moving them up too, because they've set someone else up for, success. Now, that's a little bit of a tangent from being patient and looking at the whole scheme of things with the game. A life philosophy, had to throw it in there. It's the word of God. Godly. I must make that a little tidbit for every one of my videos. The word of godly, just quotes that, these guys can use later. If you like that stupid and completely arrogant idea, please let me know. Comment down below. It's completely random. I get distracted easily if you can't, I don't have ADD or anything like that. But it's one of those things, like, just kind of get off on random subjects. So this video is going on for about 25 minutes. You can see how it's literally been non-stop in this area. And I hope you can understand why I don't recommend this area if you're just starting out. How much they're just going to be on your ass the entire time. It's going to be very difficult to tactfully skill here and really enjoy the game, because you're going to be spending so much time just running back and forth. Let me see if I can get a shot of it. I barely get a shot of it. Right in this area is where the camp is. So if you're to die every single time, 2 or 3 of these, just kind of got onto you, you had a long hike all the way back here, my friends. That's not going to be fun if you're spending all your time playing the game by running back and forth. So please heed my advice and wait until you got some skills going. Spend some time at Port Atlantis and then come over here. Just go to Port Atlantis, come over here after a couple of days, try it out. If you realize, a little too rough, head back over. There's plenty of mobs over there. There's these mobs over there. Just spread out a little bit more, makes it a lot more easy. A lot more easy? That almost sounds like a double negative. Considerably easier to skill up over there when you can take your time and pace yourself. Not let the mobs set the pace for you. I'm letting them, kind of follow me over here because I know they're not going to do much to me between the armor and my defensive skills. I'm killing them quick enough. I think my next video is going to be in a similar area over here. However, I'm going to discuss the balancing act between weapons, armor, and the mobs. Because unlike most games, your skills determine what you should be wearing, not the other way around. You can't just buy the best gun or best armor and walk into an area and expect to be successful. So that's what you guys have to look forward to probably by the end of the week, if not tomorrow. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. If you didn't enjoy it, well, you can still subscribe and just talk crap to me in comments. I do enjoy seeing that as well. So if you guys have anything good, bad, negative, positive, just want to talk about something random, please comment below. I'm up for the discussion. And look forward to talking to you guys, showing you some stuff soon. It's Godly out.